What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video, and thank you for joining me. I've had a lot of questions over the last few months about what gear I use to stay warm during the winter months riding here in Washington State. We have a cold snap going on right now, so I figured I would take this opportunity to lay everything out here on the table before us and talk about it. We've got custom leather jackets, a lot of rain gear, some heated gear, pretty much everything that I need to be comfortable on the bike no matter how long I'm going to be on it. So let's get into it. All right, well, hopefully I don't turn into an ice cube here. It's only like 25 degrees, but to Washingtonians, that's cold. I'm a warm weather person. We're going to Daytona in like 2 weeks, and I'm really excited for some warm weather, so I kind of thrive in that environment. I've got the wood fireplace going, but unfortunately, it's rather small. I think it might be time to upgrade. There's some drafts in here. I'm doing what I can. I've insulated the ceiling and put up the moisture barrier, but it's still just damn cold on these really cold weekends. But anywho, let's get into everything that we have here before us. So I think I'm gonna break this video up into sections. We'll have short cold weather ride, long cold weather ride, and rain gear, which is kind of just its own sector because even during the summer you could end up needing that. So starting with a short cold weather ride, we're looking at a custom jacket that I have here from First Manufacturing. It is a really, really high quality leather jacket. I love this thing. I do not leave home without it. Even during, let's say, early spring or late summer, this is gonna be my go-to over just a cut and a sweatshirt. It's very thick, but it's also very supple. It's not too stiff at all. A lot of customization goes into these leather jackets, leather cuts, etc. from their website. You can get double diamond stitching, spider web stitching, freaking hexagon. I mean, really, there are like 20 different options for stitching patterns up top. You can choose whether you want the 1-inch collar or not. You can choose, do you want bullet snaps, regular snaps for your, your pew-pew pockets. You've got your quilted liner on the inside. You can customize what your pattern is on the inside. You can choose whether or not you want the pouches for your padding, which I did opt for so that I can throw a back protector in there, as well as some elbow pads if I ever wanted. Just a really good, thick, warm jacket. Show you guys exactly what it looks like here. Fits really nicely, really high quality zips, everything of the sort. I end up normally when I'm on the bike just snapping the top 4 buttons here, leaving the bottom one undone. That way when I'm sitting, no problems there. You can opt for having side zips. I mean, the options are really, really unlimited. Go to their website, you'll spend an hour trying to decide what you want to do. Colors, patterns, stitching, it's a ton of stuff, I promise. So anyways, when it comes to those short cold weather rides, I'm usually rocking either a t-shirt or a long sleeve shirt underneath, and then a sweatshirt, and then this leather jacket. When I'm saying short weather ride, I'm talking about half an hour to 45 minutes. That's about all I can do before I really start to feel it kind of creep in. When you leave the house, obviously, it's pretty warm. Everything's, the temperature of the room that you were in. You get out there, and after a while, it just starts to creep, and you start to feel it in the bones. So that's what I'm running for the jacket here. And for those of you wondering, in terms of price, I would think that was about $450 for the jacket, which, in my opinion, for something completely custom, is really, really not a bad deal. They're one of those companies that I noticed always has sales and stuff going on, promotions, so I would not purchase one at full price when they don't have a promotion going on. Usually they have like a 25% off or 40% off or something like that. So definitely keep an eye on their website once you see something that you like, and you'll find like an opportune time to get it a little bit cheaper, or usually if you get like 2 garments, obviously you get a discount there. So just something to keep in mind with the First Manufacturing jacket. Moving on. For the pants side of things, Alpine Stars, Dry Star V3 Raider pants. These are actually pants that I used to use when I rode my sport bikes in cold weather or in the rain. They are completely waterproof. They have a zip-in quilted liner, which is a lifesaver. Seriously changes things up. You can ride to work in the morning with the quilted liner in, and then, in the evening when it's maybe warmer, you can pull the quilted liner out, still be comfortable, but not have to obviously just carry around this entire pair of pants in your backpack. So definitely a nice option for some of those aspects. You have your vents here that open up. and then there's a snap that holds them open, so you get a little bit of airflow into the legs. Nothing really to write home about, but you know, it's a nice feature to have. These are completely waterproof. It's called Dry Star. That's their own version of Gore-Tex, but I have never had these pants leak through. I have ridden in just absolutely miserable rainstorms on my 24 Road Glide back from San Juan Islands, like 3.5 hours on I-5. And as we know with these new bikes, if you're watching the channel and you're familiar with 24 Road Glides, all that rain, all that wind, right on the legs. It just happens. So these pants I highly recommend for cold weather riding, and if you want a pair of waterproof pants that goes along with that. These are perfect for Washington State where you have those like damp, cold mornings. Like these are just it for that. So Alpine Stars V3 Raiders. So getting into the gloves here, I'm usually not one to purchase Harley-Davidson riding gear. I like a lot of the other offerings out on the market, but I actually totally fell in love with these Harley-Davidson gloves. I don't remember, unfortunately, what the specific model is of them, but they are stitched with the Harley-Davidson logo here. They're already pre-formed, so they're already in that comfortable riding position versus just straight out. You've got expandable knuckle here, nice supple leather again. You've got a palm pad here, and then you also have Thinsulate from 3M, which is a really nice warm insulation that's in there that makes it a little bit thicker. But they're not too thick to like lose a lot of dexterity, which I actually really like about these gloves. They are water resistant, not waterproof, but I have never had water come through, so they are a decent offering in terms of being waterproof. I like that they're not a gauntlet because these are my short cold weather gloves, but I actually tend to use them also in, again, early spring or late summer in like an evening where maybe during the day I go riding and it's 60 degrees and then in the evening it's dropped down to like 45, 50 degrees. So these are a nice option for that because I normally run like really thin thrashing gloves during the day. So, you know, when the hands get cold at night, these are a great option and really highly protective, good leather gloves. Can't go wrong with that. Those were about $100. So in addition to the gloves, I tend to use a balaclava. There are a ton of different options for these on the market, but I really like this one specifically. This is actually not marketed as a motorcycle balaclava, but it's actually for snowmobiling. They may have one similar to it for motorcycling, but this thing is fantastic. It's made by Climb. I'm gonna say Climb because I think it's Climb. I don't know, KLIM, right? So you've got a pretty simple design here. You've got Windstopper by Gore-Tex, which really does work. So on the head, you've got a certain sort of like a silky material. And then when it comes into the holes on the sides here, nice breathability for your ears. But when you get to the front here, you'll notice it is no longer a breathable material at all. So you've got this like microfiber feel, but it is a complete, as they say, wind stopper. No wind gets through this. It is like a brick wall, which I absolutely love. I throw this thing on, I tuck it in, and no wind ends up going on the neck or down the chest or the chin. So basically, as you can see by the shape of it, it makes its way right to the bottom of the chin here, and then this just works its way up and around, and very comfortable, very warm in terms of stopping the wind. Obviously, it's not really doing much to heat your head, but it does probably retain a little bit of heat in the helmet on the top of your head, but that's not really ever a concern. It's mostly just keeping that wind out of the neck and chest area because that really does, over time on those longer rides, tend to just creep in and start to take its toll. So usually on a cold weather ride, even if it's not too long, I am running this Climb balaclava. Moving on, the last thing that even on a cold short weather ride I am using are a pair of waterproof leather boots. These are Irish Setters. I've had them for years. They're totally clapped out. They work damn well. They're steel toe, they're waterproof, and they really mean it. They hold the heat in because being waterproof, they don't breathe that great. They're high top leather boots. I lace them up tight. They're not gonna fly off my feet if I get tossed off the bike, and my feet stay warm and dry. Enough said about those. So next, let's go over those long cold weather rides. And I say long, I mean 4, 5, 6 hour rides, whether it's you going for the day you know, with a buddy, go 2 hours one direction, 2 hours back, have lunch while you're there. You're coming home in the dark when it's really cooled off, or those multiple day road trips where you know you're crushing 400 or 500 miles at 80 miles an hour on the highway, and you know, inevitably that cold is going to creep in no matter how much you bundle up. There's only one way in those circumstances to really stay comfortable and warm on the bike, and that is with some help. Unfortunately, we have help. This stuff's been around for a while now, and that is heated gear. These 2024 Road Glides have a heated gear lead, too, actually, underneath the seat, ready to go. Like, it does not get any easier than that. Harley-Davidson even sells heated gear. So if you don't want to use the stuff that I show you here today, Harley-Davidson has a jacket, Harley-Davidson has pants. They're probably great. So anybody that doesn't have heated leads under their seat, guess what? Gerbing or other manufacturers make one. It's like $20. It's just a positive and a negative to your battery, and then to a connector that then connects into your heated gear. So heated gear that I'm using is made by Gerbing. Gerbing is very well known in the heated gear space, and for good reason. It's high quality stuff. It's extremely warm and comfortable. You don't end up with, you know, trading off being warm for being uncomfortable because the stuff's shaped weird or something fits small or it's tight in the back. And they've really done a good job over the years of adapting their gear to make sure that people on a motorcycle are comfortable in it. So here we've got our gauntlet gloves. You've got a nice, some sort of fiberglass knuckle. It's nice and hard. You've got knuckle padding on all the knuckles here. Everything's all form fit with flex in the fingers there, the ribs. You've got your little TPU slider on the palm here. That's really nice, as well as the pinky. That's actually a really nice little added feature. Usually when you go down on a bike, if you go down this way, you end up rolling your pinky and snapping it because it's the first thing that catches traction when you put your hand down, usually. So this little slider here can help stop that from happening. And at least you don't have a broken pinky amongst everything else going on your day. So yeah, you've got your gauntlet here. Again, 3M insulate, completely waterproof, never had issues with any water creeping in, and you've got your lead here. Your lead here is going to plug in to the lead here on your jacket. Simple as that. Plug it in, it's now going to be heating. There is a controller, it's on the bike. I will show you the controller because anybody that hasn't seen this stuff would probably love to know everything there is to know about how the system works. So that is the gloves. I don't really think there's anything more to go over with those. Here we have the jacket. This is their latest version of the jacket. It comes with a pop-out hood if you want. You've got a really nice soft collar here. I really like that. It feels really good on the neck. When I'm not using the balaclava for some reason, the neck is nice, and it does have the micro wire in the neck. So when I'm on those long rides and I start to get cold, I can just lift my shoulders up and it hugs around my neck and it feels like I'm getting a warm hug in bed. It's freaking nice. So you've got your heating element here on the collar. You have a heating element in the front here. You have a heating element on the back, and you have heating elements on both of the arms. This jacket really does not leave much to be desired. Like, it is damn warm. I remember last year when I first started using it, I did a review video on it, and I was blown away, and I still am blown away by just how well it does its job, how warm it keeps you. It's just incredibly nice. So moving on to the pants here, Gerbing also makes pants. They also make like heated soles, probably heated socks. So really you can be completely kitted out and be warm no matter what you're doing. So here you have your lead from your jacket, which then just plugs right into your pants. Right here, yellow to yellow, boom, done. So these pants are basically kind of the same overall principle as your jacket. You have the heating elements in the legs, in the front, and in the back. One thing that I wish that these pants had that they do not is a heating element in the butt. I understand why they didn't. That would be pretty hard to have last, sitting on it and moving around on it, as well as, you may end up with it being much hotter on your butt than the rest of your legs because you're making solid weighted contact on your butt, but not on the legs, as it's kind of just like, it's around there, but it's not like tight like it would be underneath you. So I understand why, but I still find myself wishing that on those cold rides I could warm my butt up. So that is the pants. They are extremely elastic in the waist. They're there's just a ton of flex there. And then obviously you can go tighter with the Velcro here. These are a size large. I am a 34 in the waist. I'm a little chubby right now, but we won't talk about it. So large is perfect for me. My buddy Dan ended up going with extra large. He should have probably gone with large too, but he wanted a little bit more room in him, so I understand. Keep in mind, with this Gerbing heated gear, this stuff is in no way protective at all. Like, this is not gonna keep you safe in a slide in the slightest. This is simply heated gear, keep you warm, wear your other layers over it. So when I'm riding in the cold weather for a long time, I again have either a t-shirt or a long sleeve shirt. I then have my Gerbing heated jacket instead of a sweatshirt, and then I have my leather jacket here. I have done 4 layers where I did a long sleeve, I did a sweatshirt, then I did the heated jacket, and I did the leather jacket. Maybe it was heated jacket and then sweatshirt. Either way, I was able to fit the 4 layers, but it did start to get a bit snug. So I ended up realizing that with this heated jacket, I had more than enough heat, even in the coldest of weather, that I could completely eliminate the sweatshirt from the equation there. So just running that stuff up top, comfortable, warm all the time, I usually end up having to turn it down. Gerbing advertises something like 125 degrees is capable out of this stuff, so you usually end up turning it down, especially if you're stopped at like a stoplight for a while. It does heat up quick. So on the pants sides of things, I end up using a pair of snowboard liners, you know, just a base layer. This kind of helps with keeping the heating elements feeling uniform. Instead of like feeling the heating elements right on your skin, there's this to kind of create that buffer and add some surface area to it. So that really helps in that aspect there. Getting into how all of this Gerbing heated gear connects to your bike and you're able to make adjustments to it. In the pocket here, we have a controller. This controller has 2 channels on it. You have the ability to decide what is plugged into those channels and how that works. This is a Bluetooth offering from Gerbing. Really, really nice. I've never had any issues with it. So here we have jacket and gloves plugged into the 2 channels onto the controller here. This controller is then plugged into the bike, and that is how everything gets supplied power. This controller is connected to a Bluetooth controller that I have living right up in here, Velcroed in underneath my lid for this pocket. All I do is adjust the knobs here, and that's it. When I plug the gear in, it remembers where I had it last, so all I have to do is turn those knobs, and there's nothing more to it. I don't have to turn anything on, nothing like that. Once I plug the gear into the bike, it's heating up to whatever I have those knobs set at. I never have to Bluetooth connect this to the bike. It's never lost connection. So it's pretty hands-free in that aspect, and it's pretty nice having it just work exactly as intended. You know, there's no messing around like Skyline OS. Anyways, see if I can get this stuff back in the pocket here. So it also has a little skirt here. It's nice, keeps the cold from coming up and in, and then you can also snap that skirt shut. No big deal there. On the back side, you have a little reflective strip here, kind of nice if this was your top layer. Again, I highly recommend not using that as a top layer because that has no protection in a slide. It's just gonna melt to your skin as you're sliding. So, yep, that's that. So, moving on, let's talk about the rain. Kind of the worst thing that you can deal with on your bike when it comes to enjoying a nice day on the road is when rain comes along and says, hey, you know, I know you've been having a wonderful day and all, but. So fortunately, we have some ways that we can combat that. There are a lot of companies that make really good, fully waterproof rain gear. Like it's not coming in. If you're wearing the stuff, that's it. So the company that I chose to go with is a company that everyone in the Harley-Davidson space knows quite well, and that is Thrashin. Thrashin does have their own line of waterproof gear. Comes in bags, it's nice and convenient, and they offer everything, which is nice. You know, some companies will only offer a jacket or only offer a pants, and then you have to get your gear somewhere else. I kind of like being able to have everything be uniform and have just, you know, one company, everything matches, and you know, that's just me, my OCD. But nice bags, good quality stuff there. So we'll start from the top and work our way down. we have their waterproof rain jacket slash windbreaker. Really nice, solid ripstop material. All of the seams are taped. All of the zippers are taped. Again, you have a fold-out hood here for if you're off the bike in the rain. You've got a nice, soft collar along the neck of the jacket, and it's a nice tall collar, which I do like. Really nice, reflective Thrash & Supply Company logo there. So again, you do have some rear protection in terms of somebody seeing you with their headlights. Getting into the inside of this, you can see it is a waterproof material. All of the seams are taped. Nice quality. It's got zip-up pockets. Again, the zip-up pockets are taped. Thrash & logo again on the chest here. Really straightforward. It's a waterproof jacket and it does its job. Here we have their pants. They have a couple of different features on them than other companies offer, which make them a standout choice for me. Again, you've got your taped seams, everything like that. You got your Thrash & logo there, which is, again, that reflective material. And what really sold me on them was the insides of the legs have a really rugged canvas type material. That is a lifesaver when it comes to having a 2-in-1 exhaust with no heat shields. When I put my leg down on the side of the bike, this canvas material is what would meet the exhaust if I accidentally was to get my leg too close, which does happen. So to avoid that, they have added that canvas on the insides of the legs, which I really like. Here they have a Velcro system on the side of the leg, so getting in and out of these, having these over the top of other pants is no problem. Getting them over boots, anything of the sort, you don't have to actually delayer to get in them, right? You can have your boots on, slip through, undo the Velcro here, re-Velcro it, and you're good to go. You also have some stirrups on the bottom. These stirrups help keep the pants down and not riding up. So overall, pretty straightforward. Again, like I said, you have tape seams just like you do the jacket. And to keep your feet dry, you have some really nice gaiters. As you can see, I haven't even used these ones yet, but you have, again, a stirrup on the bottom that's going to keep it from riding up. Really nice feature. You've got a nice rubber pad on the bottom. So, you know, if this was just like a canvas material or something, eventually with walking on these off the bike, even just for a little bit, you would rip them or highly, you know, shorten the lifespan of them. But with these rubber pads on the bottom, that's not an issue. So really nice feature there. And then you have just a waterproof material. Again, it's like a canvas type material because that's obviously going to be more rugged. Taped seams, you know, bungee here at the top, Velcro all the way down so you can just wrap this around your leg and then tighten it you know, as desired. And then again, you have a reflective Thrash & logo. So top to bottom there, you're staying dry, especially if you have this Climb balaclava as well, and then waterproof boots. But even if you don't have waterproof boots, you do have these rain covers, which are going to pretty much protect you. As you can see here, you do have the possibility that maybe it comes in on the side, but you're not gonna have just a lake flying into your toes all the time. All right, so that is about everything that I use to stay warm and dry while riding here in Washington State during the winter months, and going to be very helpful on those longer road trips. We have a plan for Arizona Bike Week in April. It's still gonna be freezing and raining here in Washington, but over in Arizona it's gonna be 80. So you can bet you're gonna see about half this gear with me. So I wouldn't recommend any of this stuff to you if I didn't like it myself, so you can trust that I do highly recommend it. Nobody with any stuff on this table has offered me any sort of compensation for telling you about it. I have no affiliation with any of these companies. I just like this stuff, so I've done my research and this is what I've found works well for me. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please help me out. Give the video a thumbs up. Comment with any questions you have down below. I'd love to help you guys out in terms of any of this stuff. I will leave links in the descriptions for everything, at least most of what I can find. That way you guys can pick some up yourself if that's something that you're looking to do. And please don't forget to subscribe. We have a lot of cool stuff going on the bike and the channel. We've got Daytona Bike Week coming up, and then we've got Arizona Bike Week and some other stuff in the next few months. You know, we've got parts coming for the bike. So really, really looking forward to sharing all of that with you guys, and I hope you come along for the ride. So I will catch you guys in my next off week.